Hey, what's up, Funkheads? Funko has been making more chases than ever lately, with tons of characters including a chase, and they're not as rare as they used to be. Usually they're about 1 in 6 now, which is great, because as a pop collector, one of the best feelings is to find a chase in the wild, or to get really lucky and get a chase in the mail, from a company that doesn't pick their chases out and sell them at a premium. A lot of companies will still randomly send you a chase when you order a common. So this video isn't about hating on chases, because myself, like every other pop collector, loves to get a chase. The reason I wanted to make this video though, is because lately on the forums, on YouTube, and in the pop community in general, I've been noticing a lot of hysteria, a lot of obsession with trying to get a chase. And a lot of the times you can tell that it's not even about the character, it's not even about completing a set, it's basically because it has that chase sticker on it. And people think it's going to be more valuable or that it's super rare, when a lot of the time that's not the case. Just because it's a chase doesn't exactly make it rare. There's no limited quantity, like there isn't 6,000 commons with 1,000 chases. And especially with certain characters that are very popular, there could actually be more chases of that character than there are of some pops that are considered commons, but just not as widely produced. I have plenty of chases in my collection, but honestly, some of my most valuable pops are commons, just because they actually are more rare, and they just have a great design, so people want them. Which brings me to the point of this video. I put on my thinking cap, and looked up all the chases that Funko has made, and came up with a list of the ones I consider to be the worst. And the criteria I used is how lazy of a chase it is, how small the difference between the common and the chase is, whether the chase makes much sense, and in some cases, if the common looks better than the chase. Of course, I'll explain exactly why I picked each one when I get to it. And remember, this is just my opinion, and this isn't about hating on chases. It's just about 5 chases that stand out to me as being either lazy or not as good as the common. You may agree or disagree, but this is just my opinion. Before I get into the top 5, I'm going to talk about a couple of dishonorable mentions, starting with the new Sub-Zero. The pop looks pretty cool. It's got a great sculpt and color scheme. I would have preferred the original Mortal Kombat characters, kind of like how they made the original Street Fighter characters, but this pop still looks cool. But I do think that the chase is extremely lazy with this one. All they did was add a little bit of his ice power to his hands, and the ice power does kind of look like toothpaste. It's not a bad idea, but I think I would have preferred him in a different stance on the chase figure, instead of them just gluing on those 2 little bits of blue plastic onto his hands. It's not bad, but I do think it's a little lazy. Another chase that I'm not a big fan of is the Batman robot. I think this is one of those instances where the common looks better than the chase. It's just far more interesting to me to have Batman's face kind of half blown off to reveal the robot inside, and the one red eye on the part where he still has his face. It's just a more interesting design to me than just the completely robotic head on the Batman body. It actually looks like some kind of head swap custom. And actually, this whole figure to me is kind of odd when there is a lot better characters to make from Batman the Animated Series. I actually think that the common Batman robot should have been a chase figure for the common Batman, because the body is exactly the same, and they just switched up the head, half of the head. So honestly, I think that the common Batman robot should have been the chase for the common Batman. That would have been a lot more interesting and a lot more worthy of actually being a chase figure. Alright, now on to the worst of the worst. Starting with number 5. The Tiffany chase figure from the Bride of Chucky movie is the epitome of a lazy chase to me. It's just a little bit of blood splatter on the common pop. That's it. And in the glam it looks pretty cool. It definitely looks better, splattered with blood. But if you look at the actual pop, the blood is barely noticeable. There should have been a lot more blood on it. It should have been darker red. If it didn't have a chase sticker, it'd be very hard to notice that this pop was even blood splattered. Maybe some blood splattering on the actual window would have helped, but to me it's extremely lazy. And honestly, I think this pop doesn't look good to begin with. I think the way they did her hair, with that gray line in the middle, just looks horrendous. I know it's supposed to be her roots, but I don't know. I think they could have figured out a better way to do it than that. It just looks so jarring to the eye to see that streak of gray right in the middle. It's just bad. And I sometimes wonder if they add a chase to figures like this to get people to buy 6 at a time online so they can actually sell this pop. At number 4, I'm putting Kira and Fizzgig from the Dark Crystal. And don't get me wrong, the Dark Crystal line looks great. But this is one of those examples where the chase figure, to me, looks more boring than the common. The actual pop is exactly the same. What makes this the chase is that Fizzgig has his mouth closed, which I think is a way more boring design than the one with him with his mouth open, where you can see all his teeth and his tongue and his palate. It's just more interesting to me. And I haven't seen the Dark Crystal in a very long time, so there might be some kind of really important significance to Fizzgig having his mouth closed. I just can't remember. Design-wise, though, I think the common looks better in this case. So for that reason, and the fact that the actual pop is exactly the same, that's why I put it on this list of worst Funko Pop chases. I actually own the weaponized Rick chase, and I'm glad I have it. I would rather have the chase, but the reason I'm putting this one on the list is similar to the reason I put Tiffany on the list. It's just an extremely lazy chase. The only difference is the little decals for the mouth are different. One of them's closed and one of them's open. And it's not like sculpted open, it's just a decal. This is definitely one of those ones where having the common and the chase is pretty pointless. You either have one or the other, and you're probably not too bummed out at not having the chase if you just have the common, because they are so similar. It's totally lazy, and I just think they could have done more with this one. Maybe give him a second gun, or covering him with blood as well, along with the opened mouth. That would have made a little bit more sense, and a good amount of blood, not just like how they did the Tiffany. Just something else besides a small change on the mouth. These dog hand pops from Valerian are the perfect example of people adding this pop to their collection simply because of the power of that chase sticker. Valerian pretty much bombed at the box office, and without a doubt, if this didn't have chase stickers on it, this pop would not be in a lot of people's collection. And I don't blame them. You see a chase pop and you buy it. It's very hard to leave a chase behind. And I think Funko is fully aware of this. So not only did they add one chase to this character, they added 2. And to make it even worse, they actually mislabeled these. In the glam, the dog hand with both of his hands up is the common, but they actually put a chase sticker on that one. So it's actually unclear which one of these are chases, because according to the glam, the one with the black bag is a chase. But out in the wild, he doesn't have a chase sticker. And the one that's the common has a chase sticker. And the one with the red bag has a chase sticker. So it can be argued that all of these are chases, or 2 of these aren't because it doesn't have a sticker, and the other one is supposed to be the common. Kind of a big screw up, which all leads to people feeling like no matter which one of these they find, it's a chase. You can argue it either way. Kind of lame. I'd just be curious to see what the final sale numbers are on all the other Valerian characters compared to Dog Hand, just to see if he did sell a lot more than the other ones because of that chase sticker. It would just be fascinating to see those numbers. And at number 1, I have Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I own this pop. I actually found it in the wild, as a lot of people did, because this is what I was talking about when a character that is extremely popular, that has a lot of pops made of him, is going to have a lot of chases. And I'd be willing to bet that there are more Star-Lord chases than some common releases, just because of the huge amount of Guardians of the Galaxy pops that were made, especially Star-Lord. And I'm also going to say that, yeah, I prefer to have the chase in this case, because I do like the body sculpt on the chase, and I do like the head sculpt with the helmet. But the reason I'm putting this one on here is because this chase is just a head swap. They took the Toys R Us exclusive Star-Lord that had the chest armor and the helmet face mask thing he wears, and just put it on the body of the common Star-Lord. To me, that's extremely lazy. He's not metallic, he doesn't have a different pose, he doesn't glow in the dark, nothing. They just took the head from one pop and put it on the body of another. I really can't think of another chase figure that's like that. And what makes it even worse is that you can buy chase stickers on eBay and swap the head of the Toys R Us pop with the common pop super easily, especially because it's on a spring. So you don't even need glue or hot water or anything. You can just twist it off of one pop and put it on the other, put a chase sticker on there, and nobody would be the wiser. I would never buy this pop on eBay just because I don't trust people. But if you do want it and you do go to eBay, chances are that it is a legit Star-Lord pop because there is so many of them, and it's really not worth the trouble of trying to head swap it because you might end up spending more money trying to buy the Toys R Us pop and the common pop, because I think that you can buy this Star-Lord now for something like 20 to 25 bucks because it's just everywhere. But when it first came out, the price was a little higher, and considering the hustle that scalpers go through, I wouldn't put it past them to try to fool people in that manner. But yeah, to me this is just a lazy head swap and not worthy of being a chase figure. Alright guys, that was my worst Chase Funko Pop list. And I mean no disrespect for you Chase hunters out there. I know it takes a lot of effort. You gotta go to the stores every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, hound the employees, do your research. It takes an insane amount of effort and passion to consistently find chases in the wild. So congratulations to you guys. I personally feel that sometimes it's not worth it. And I also feel that sometimes it is just sticker collecting and not pop collecting. Because I do feel that if you take that chase sticker off of some of these pops, people would not want them. And in turn, if you put a chase sticker on some of these less popular pops, all of a sudden people would be wasting half of their day hunting for them and literally chasing after them. Let me know in the comments below whether you agree or disagree with this list. What pops do you think are the worst? Which ones do you think shouldn't have been on this list? What chases you have found? What's your favorite chase? Or anything else you'd like to say. As always, thanks for watching and take it easy.